I stand with Police on Guard because they stand for the Canadian Charter Rights and Freedoms and the Constitution, the foundations on which this country stands. I stand with Police on Guard.
My name is Matt, and I stand with Police on Guard for this reason: to ensure that the rights and freedoms of Canadians are never taken away by their government. I stand with Police on Guard.
I joined Police on Guard because I swore an oath as a police officer to the Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I will not back down until our rights and freedoms are restored. I believe in a free and democratic society. I stand with Police on Guard.
I support Police on Guard, whereas Canada was founded on the supremacy of God and the rule of law. I support Police on Guard for my family and my grandchildren. I support Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because Police on Guard is standing for us. Our citizens are losing their basic human rights and suffering as a result. Police on Guard is taking action to restore the rights of our citizens so that we can once again be the true North, strong and free that we used to be known for. I stand with Police on Guard.
On Guard because I saw our freedoms being stripped away from us in Canada, and I knew I had to do my part. I had to try to help to bring back democracy to our country. I stand with Police on Guard.
With Police on Guard because recently retired from law enforcement of 27 years, I saw Canadians' charter rights and Constitution being trampled on. I couldn't sit on the sidelines any longer. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men and women do nothing. God bless you. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because I was raised with common sense, with a work ethic, and with a firm belief in God. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee. They are one of the few organizations in this country which is dedicated to making the current regime start obeying our laws and our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, as they should have been doing all along. I stand for Police on Guard for thee.
I stand with Police on Guard because as a police officer I pledge to confront those who violate democratic human and civil rights of others. I believe in the Charter, the Bill of Rights, and the Constitution. That's why I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand for Police on Guard. Whereas Canada was founded upon the principles that recognise the supremacy of God and the rule of law, I stand for Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because together we believe in truth, freedom, justice, democracy and the constitutional rule of law. We must stand together to protect these rights and beliefs. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee. I'm currently an active officer in the province of Ontario and have been for the past 22 years. I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I will do everything in my lawful power to ensure that our citizens' rights and freedoms are never infringed again. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for the rule of law and the abolition of all forms of tyranny. I look forward to the exposure of all tyranny and the end of all of it. I stand with Police on Guard.
For 30 years, I've been a law enforcement officer, standing on guard for thee, protecting our borders. It's the right thing to do. Don't we all lock our cars, our homes at night? But now my government wants to penetrate my border. That's not gonna happen. That's why I stand
with Police on Guard, because I believe in God, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and justice. I believe in doing the right thing. With this being said, like my grandfather before me who fought in World War II, I choose not to cower back down, but instead join in this new fight against evil and tyranny. I stand with Police on Guard.
I joined Police on Guard to stand among the ranks of men and women who swore an oath like I did to serve and protect all Canadians and their sacrosanct rights and freedoms. My name is Constable Jason Lefebvre, and I proudly stand with Police on Guard.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm with Police on Guard. I am standing for your freedom and for my freedom and for our children's future. I will be standing with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee because they are fighting to protect the rights and freedoms promised to all Canadians under the Canadian Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I want to protect those rights and freedoms given to me and all Canadians. In 1977, I became a police officer in Toronto, sworn to protect the lives and property of citizens. The bonus was I got to arrest criminals. Today, we have criminals trying to steal our rights and freedoms. Police on Guard are trying to stop them. That is why I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee, as they stand for the rights and freedoms of all Canadians against an unprecedented tyranny led by a compromised Canadian government at all levels that has vilified the truth about our current health situation in Canada. Our so-called governments continue to refuse to look at the science as they censor and deplatform scientists, doctors, nurses who have first-hand life-saving knowledge, preventative measures, and immune-boosting protocols. Instead, they pump out lies, prop up fears, and promote propaganda to control we the people of Canada, driving a scripted narrative towards a socialist Great Reset that was never agreed to by Canadians, enriching and protecting Big Pharma, selling out our population. I still support the oath I took 46 years ago to uphold freedom of choice and the rights and freedoms of all Canadians. I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I stand with Police on Guard because there is no way I am letting my daughter grow up in a country that does not recognize a person's right to choose what enters her body. I will do what needs to be done to ensure that. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand for Police on Guard. I served 27 years, the citizens of Calgary, without fear nor favor, to uphold their rights enshrined in the Charter and to protect them from bullies. What happens when the government becomes the bully? I stand for Canadians and Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee because I believe in our Canadian Charter right of freedom. Oui, parce que je crois en notre charte canadienne des droits et libertés. I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I support Police on Guard. I am a veteran. I am a former police officer. I swore an oath to defend this country from both foreign and domestic enemies. I also swore an oath to defend the Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I will defend the people of this country. I support Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because the country is being destroyed and Canada needs help. I became a cop to help people, and there's no time like the present. I stand with Police on Guard. I stand with Canadians.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee for several reasons. To list a few, first one being as a police officer I took an oath to protect the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Those same Charter of Rights and Freedoms are to protect every citizen in this country. I'm absolutely disgusted with the segregation and discrimination that has become acceptable with these mandates and forced vaccinations. I'm also standing with Police on Guard because as a parent, I am their first line of defense. And if I don't stand up and protect them, then who will? I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I stand with Police on Guard because I took an oath to protect all people. And aside from being a police officer, an active police officer, I'm also a mother. I'm a parent. And our children need us to be their voice. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because I believe in our rights and our Canadian Charter. I also want freedom, so I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for my children, for my grandchildren, and for the roots of the future of this world. It is inconceivable to leave them as a legacy, this world as it is. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for my children, for your children, for Canada, for everyone, for anybody who cannot stand up for themselves as we have always done. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because freedom matters more than ever for me, my children, and future generations. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard to protect the rights and freedoms of all Canadians, particularly the children of the future, far and wide. I stand with Police on Guard.
My name is Constable James Gomez, and I stand with Police on Guard, and I stand with Canadian truckers. I became a police officer because I want to stop evil men from doing evil things, and I wanted to help good people that become victims of crime. Doesn't matter if you're a politician or the chief of police. You're always supposed to choose people over politics. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because I believe in God, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and justice. I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I stand with Police on Guard because I support the rights and freedoms of all Canadians as offered to us in our Constitution and our Charter document that I swore in an oath to uphold. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because if I don't, this uniform will mean nothing. I swore an oath to protect this country from enemies both foreign and domestic. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee. The members of Police on Guard have demonstrated true integrity and honor. I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I stand for truth. I stand to uphold our charter and maintain the right. I stand with Police on Guard.
40-some years ago, I took an oath to serve my country when I joined the military, and when I got out, I didn't untake the oath. It's a lifetime commitment. And I took the oath to serve my country, not the Prime Minister, especially not this Prime Minister. So that's why I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because I believe our children and our children's children deserve a better future. They deserve what we had growing up. I stand with Police
on Guard. I swore an oath to uphold the Charter, which guarantees basic human rights and fundamental freedoms. The tyranny we are seeing in Canada right now is a direct violation of everything I swore to uphold. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which was written for all Canadians, for those that can't stand, for my kids, for my grandkids. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard. As a police officer, I took an oath to protect the rights and freedoms of others. That includes myself and my family. I will not let my employer or the government dictate what I choose to do with my body when it comes to medical decisions. I will continue to stand up for what's right, as right now the badge means nothing. The truth will come out, and I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because the Charter makes this the greatest country in the world, and I'd like to keep it that way. I stand with Police on Guard.
I started my policing career in 1982, the same year that Pierre Elliott Trudeau enacted the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Fortunately for me, I was lucky enough to retire prior to his son Justin destroying it. I joined Police on Guard to help fight against Trudeau's trampling of everyone's freedoms and rights. I stand with Police on Guard.
As a law enforcement officer, I stand with Police on Guard to protect the rights and freedoms of all Canadians. I stand with Police on Guard for my family, for your family, and for the families of our future generations. I stand with Police on Guard.
14 years with the Royal Canadian Regiment. My heart truly hurts to see how divided our country's become. I feel like we're moving towards a segregated society, and that's why I stand with
Police on Guard. I stand with my friends, I stand with my family, I stand with other Canadians. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because I always taught my kids to never take a knee to a bully. Now's the time to take our freedoms back. Not only their freedoms, but everybody in this great country's freedoms. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard so that my children and yours grow up in the same free country that we did. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee because the highest law in the land is the Canadian Charter of Freedoms and Rights, which is being trampled on by the government today. I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I joined Police on Guard to stand up against a tyrannical government that does not respect the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Vaccine mandates and vaccine passports violate those charter rights. It's time to reclaim Canada. Stand up for the true North, strong and free.
I stand with Police on Guard. I stand with them to protect the freedoms and liberty of our great nation, its people, and its future generation. Whereas Canada was founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God and the rule of law, I will continue to stand for the Constitution and all the rights it enshrines and the principles which made our country strong and free. I stand with Police on Guard.
I'm standing with the fine officers of Police on Guard for our freedoms. We're not slaves. Let's keep it that way. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because they believe and fight for, as a united front for the rights, freedoms of all Canadians. With POG, it is no longer I, it is we, and we can make a difference. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee because our Charter of Rights and Freedoms matter. I stand with Police on Guard.
Fear, division, mandates, and hate brought to you by Justin Trudeau. I took an oath to protect this country. I stand with the Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for my children, my grandchildren, and their freedoms. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard because I believe in the rule of law. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms has to be observed, preserved, and defended always. Without the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, we don't have a country. I stand with Police on Guard for thee.
I stand with Police on Guard because when I joined the Canadian Armed Forces, I made an oath to defend our nation's rights and freedoms. I stand
with Police on Guard.
Hi, I'm Alan. I was a sworn police officer for 25 years. I stand with Police on Guard. The Constitution and the Charter of Rights form the base of our country. These laws ensure our individual rights and freedoms. Without freedom, what would Canada be? I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with
Police on Guard because their collective voices and actions are closely aligned with my own. Because we all stand for the freedom and respect of all Canadians as afforded by our Constitution.
I'm Constable Stewart, and I stand for Canadians' rights and freedoms. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for the protection of charter rights and freedom of choice.
The oath that I took does not have an end date. I stand for my grandkids. I stand for my family. I stand for those who are waking up. It's time we all started to stand together. I stand with Police on Guard.
I stand with Police on Guard for thee because 32 years ago I gave my oath to uphold the Canadian Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms of this free and great country. I recently retired. I did not give that oath lightly and swore to protect Canada from tyranny. My oath is even more important today than ever before as we all face the great enemy of our rights, freedoms, and democracy running our country into totalitarianism. I am united with my fellow officers to protect our free country, freedom of thought, and freedom of speech without censorship, freedom of religion, freedom to travel, and freedom of medical choices without disclosure and coercion. I stand with all the thousands of honourable Canadians that were fired from their employment because of unconstitutional medical mandates and demand their return to that employment. I stand with the thousands of free Canadians demanding the end of all COVID mandates and the complete return of our rights and freedoms in the noble spirit they were written.
I stand with Police on Guard.